of subject you want. Maybe you love criminal law and you land your first paralegal job in criminal law, right? And you have this attorney and you're lucky because the attorney just wants you doing, maybe some of the paperwork, draft this for me, serve this to opposing counsel, things like that. Bingo. But you may land a job where you're doing everything except what the attorney can't, or what you can't do as an attorney, like give legal advice. Other than that, you're doing everything else. Okay. So is there a definition? I'm not going to lie to you. No, there's not. Depends where you're working. All right. So we have something called the American Bar Association, though. American Bar Association, American meaning all of the states. All of the states are regulated by this bar association. Who gets a bar license? The attorney. And even though the attorney holds that bar license and they're the ones who are licensed to practice law and give legal advice, their license also reflects on you too, because as a paralegal, everything you do reflects on who? Who has to approve everything you do? That attorney with that license. So that is why it's very important, very, very important. Ethics that we talk about later, it's very important you have the attorney look over everything you do. Everything. We'll talk more about that, but has to happen. Who regulates the attorneys? The American Bar. Who sanctions the attorneys? American Bar Association. We also have a California bar. So every state has their own bar, and then the American Bar Association runs all of the states together. See the difference? Okay, so that's what the ABA is. It's a national association for attorneys. If you want to be part of the ABA as a paralegal, by the way, you can. If you want to go to the American Bar Association website and enroll and become, they now offer, what do you call it? A membership for paralegals now, which wasn't offered before. And that is how big paralegals are getting. This is how much we need paralegals in the legal field. You actually can go to the ABA and grab a membership. The membership is, I believe, $64.99 a year. And the good thing about being with the ABA is you can take all your CLE classes too through them for free. And sometimes a CLE class costs more than $64.99, right? Because you have to keep up with your CLEs too. We'll talk about that too. But so the American Bar Association, if you're one of them, you get to do your CLE classes for free and just paying that $65 for the year. And it's not like once you pay that $64.99, and you're going to stay with them forever. No, but it also gives you a lot of different things in there. If you want to learn more about e-discovery, if you want to learn more about working with an attorney in a different state, if you want more information on AI, the ABA has that all for everybody who's a member. Okay, so just if you guys want to take a look at their website. Let's see, we have NALA. Who does NALA regulate? You, the paralegal. Now, look how old-fashioned, National Association of Legal Assistants. Now it's paralegals, but they regulate, is it like, do they like take a license from you or things like that? No. If you want to be part of NALA, go ahead. Join them, pay for your membership, put it on your resume, but does an attorney look at it and say, oh, are they part of NALA? No, they don't. They don't. It's just, it's also an incentive to do your CLE classes. It's an incentive to get to know. It's a lot of communication with other paralegals, though, if you want to do something like that. I mean, you get to know other paralegals and, keeps you in the loop, kind of. That's what NALA is. But we do have to follow the NALA codes of ethics, Canon 1, Canon 2, Canon 3, and so forth. So those come from NALA. So if you have a NALA membership and you breach one of those code of ethics, Canon 2, let's say you breach it, NALA can actually dismember you. So that's how they get control of you as a paralegal, is that's all they can do to you. But if you're not part of NALA, well, what else can happen? The attorney can get sanctioned and all of that other stuff. Okay, that's the largest national organization of paralegals. So let's look at the following definition that your book gives. So a paralegal is a person qualified by education, training. Okay, now we have the word or work experience. There are people out there who have been working in the legal field before paralegals even existed, and they're still working in the legal field. So if you're going to be assisting your attorney, and you have been for many years, you can qualify through work experience. Now, I have to say this. He was talking about a paralegal who has 30 years experience. That's fine. But with all the new things that are coming out, for particularly like AI, computers, laptops, remote work, most of our filings now are going where? Through the internet. We're filing online to the court. We're no longer taking that stack of papers and going to the clerk at the county, standing in line and having her stamp our papers. It's not like that anymore. So even though they have 30 years of that kind of experience, they're not getting the education and training that a newer paralegal needs, because it's absolutely needed. Okay. Who is employed or retained by a lawyer, a law office. You guys, as a paralegal, there's so many different options out there for you. Start looking now. I know it seems funny, but oh, I just started. No, start looking now. Lawyer, you can work for a lawyer. We should call them attorneys. You guys want to know the difference between the word attorney and lawyer? Okay, let me tell you the difference. A lawyer went to law school and graduated with their JD, their Juris Doctorate. They're a lawyer. They can't practice law yet, but they're a lawyer. Okay. An attorney practices law. They have their bar license. That's the difference. So that's why I don't like your book using lawyer. It's more an attorney. So I don't call them lawyers. I call them attorneys, because these are licensed attorneys to practice law. Okay, so you can be working for an attorney, a law office, a corporation. Paralegals are needed everywhere, everywhere. Amazon has paralegals. The school districts have paralegals. UPS has paralegals. A governmental agency. The DOJ has paralegals. Okay. Your city council has paralegals. Everybody needs somebody to draft these legal documents. I don't care who you are. Businesses. Walmart has paralegals, right? They want these documents drafted correctly and accurately. So yeah, everybody's afraid of being sued. So we need these paralegals to kind of come in, no legal advice, but come in and draft these documents for us, just in case, right? All right, or other entity. So other entity and who performs specifically delegated substantive legal work. That's usually what you're doing. It's delegated by who? The attorney, or by the corporation, whoever you're working for which a lawyer is responsible. And that's the problem. Even if you're working for Walmart, they have lawyers. That's why you're allowed to be a paralegal for Walmart, because you're going to have one of their lawyers look over your work. I don't know which one, but you have to be working under a lawyer, especially when you're new to the field. I think after the first 2 years, they allow you to go on your own and freelance. But when you're freelancing, even though you're offering your services to any, let's say any attorney in Los Angeles County, you have your own little, let's say you start your own little business, you're a paralegal business where you want to offer all of your services to all of, Los Angeles County. You have a website, you market yourself. As long as you're working for an attorney, there's no problem. They're going to look over your work anyways. You're just doing the drafting. You're doing the paperwork, basically. You're keeping the contact with the clients, things like that they need. So freelancing is good. After 2 years, you can also become a legal document assistant, which we'll talk about later, but that is a different type of, I forgot what they're called.